Lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up.
Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. I hope tonight finds you well. There is a game this weekend, but there's been a little bit of a meltdown going on and various things. And I think that they need to really be spoken about tonight. Tomorrow we'll look at the game this weekend, but tonight it's Thursday night. You know, I just thought we'd do something just a little bit different. And let's face it, they have, just doing what they do. And first of all, I want to talk about the SPFL table. Celtic are sitting on 40 points with 14 games played. Aberdeen are sitting with one game more than Celtic. So the time that Celtic managed to get the 15th game under them, so that we're level with Aberdeen game-wise, it means that we'll be even further away from them. But what it does mean is it gives the Sevconians in third position a little bit of an opportunity to try and close the gap, but hopefully Aberdeen can maintain the gap between themselves and Rangers for the foreseeable future. Dundee United are on 23 points, but then after that, who really cares? Anyway, Rio Hatate scored an absolute fantastic goal yesterday, taking it down on his chest. He took it down on his chest and then slipped it past the keeper. Thank goodness I had that covered up. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. Jesus, that was fun. Not Rio Hatate when he scored the goal, turned to the fans. And I've lost there. Turned to the fans, the Aberdeen fans, and said, "And is that the best you've got?" And let's hear you singing now. They never sang for the most of the game. Anyway, just a reminder on Boxing Day. On Boxing Day, we're doing a fundraiser for the One Celtic Fans View. Is doing a fundraiser for the Celtic FC Foundation. It's a Boxing Day live. I've got absolutely fantastic news when it comes to the fundraiser. We are currently, if I just get on the right screen, we're currently sitting on 73% of our first target, which was £1,000. To get the first hour up and running on the day. It'd be good if we can get just over the 1,000 and then we get more on the day. We're sitting at £736. We are sitting at £736 and that's a fantastic amount. We've had 29 supporters donating so far, and I've got to say thank you, and I mean that with all my heart. Thank you to every single person that has donated, and it is going to a fantastic cause, the Celtic Foundation. Celtic Foundation is obviously the charity side of Celtic Football Club, and it donates to many good causes, and they are having a Christmas appeal this year to try and raise as much funds as possible. They've also just done a limited edition t-shirt. I have asked them if we can get it sent to Spain, and if not, I'm going to have to try and get it in the UK and then get it picked up somehow. But anyway, that's for me to worry about. And then what else are we going to be talking about? Oh yeah, the Boxing Day live. We've done that one, haven't we? And that's the thumbnail for the thing on Boxing Day. So let's head over to the land of Nod, because they've been having a little bit of a meltdown, and I want to listen. Which one will I listen to first of all? Talking about complete meltdowns. I'll come into the comment section in a minute. There's quite a few people on, which is always good. And we'll go on to, is it this one? No, it's not that one. Is it this one? Oh yeah. How could I forget? It was the AGM for that lot today. And I did the AGM, and they managed to show. I've not got the picture above her. Ah, what a shame. They paraded 3 trophies. Yep. Usually when a club parades 3 trophies, it's generally the 3 trophies that the first team has won, and they paraded to the women one. Anyway, we're not going to talk about them much longer, because we need to do the little bit of meltdown that they have had. And listen to this, just for pure banter material. The banter years haven't done, but listen to this absolute outrage.
And they've got a right to ask a question. you know, they could at least have taken the questions from the people that were on their feet, waiting to ask questions. But yeah, it was a lot of words and not really a lot of substance, to be fair.
What did we learn, Trev?
Fuck all, the club's bust.
Not a hell of a lot. I was saying to Will before, there was a lot of the usual, just giving us the chat, the kind of usual AGM talk that you normally get. There was a couple of key things that did come out of it, which I found interesting. The first chap that came up with a Q&A was talking about the shenanigans last the start of the season when we had to go to Hampden, and he actually beat me. That was the question I was going to go in with, honestly.
That old chestnut.
So they've appointed a new fella. I missed his surname, sorry. A fella called Paul, whatever his surname
Paul Tisdale?
is. So
Paul Tisdale's doing 2 jobs. He's in there sorting out the mess in Rangers. Don't believe that for a minute.
oversee all things at Ibrox in the stadium, which I think is a good thing because it's a bit of a joke, really, what happened, and we should be having someone that looks after the infrastructure side of things.
I've got to screenshot this and I've got to get this up on the live because it looks like a gangster movie went wrong. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get this up on the screen because honestly, it looks like a gangster movie went wrong on this. And this is them talking about the Rangers AGM. I'm forgiven. I'm going to do used to in, used to better just sort the Rangers out, right? Yous are the guys that do the YouTube stuff. You better tell them what I want them to tell you, right? You just get it done and get it done right, pal. Just absolutely. Oh, honestly, we can't listen to much of this, but
But the big thing is the existing board structure will be changed.
What do you mean it'll be changed? They've not got a board to talk of. They keep Jesus. Honestly, they've not got a board to talk about. So it's like
To the fans in that respect. They're going to have basically some more folk that are local, independent as well.
In other words, more guys for the lodge are coming in,
which I think is a good thing. That will be happening from next year onwards. Watch this space. And if Martin's trying to read my notes, that's Trev talk, man. Only I can understand that. It's like a cycle.
No, I can't see the comments. I can just see the comments on Trev's laptop.
Jesus, honestly, clowns are us.
On the board, I've got absolutely no idea. Somebody did ask a question about did the board think it's time that they move on and allow other people to invest, which I thought was a brave question to ask.
What was the answer?
That's the gangster in the back talking. I'm going to shut the Rangers out.
We're doing this best. We're doing the best we can. Just the usual
talk.
Anyway, you can kind of see how their day went. You can kind of see how their day went, and it kind of went like that. Anyway, that's a bit of that. All spanners have been removed from Ibrox. No point since they don't have a bolt. Boom, boom. Jesus. Anyway, you've got to say, it doesn't get old, does it? I mean, does it get a bit boring? Nah, not really, does it? We need to listen to one more, though.
Big. Right, as ever, the Coombe Show is brought to you by our partners at SPK. I'd say that yesterday you'd have played Taylor.
I would have played Taylor.
Derek, I'm going to come to you first because we did the live yesterday.
Aye.
You mentioned that if the weather was bad, it would suit Aberdeen. Pretty much got a spot on, didn't you?
Well, kinda. You know, I still took Celtic to win, but I thought it'd be quite close. And there's reasons why I took Celtic. When I saw
why do Rangers fans sound like pure just Neds, man? Pure Neds, man.
The lineup, you know, I was a wee bit surprised he didn't play Taylor. Brought him on in the second half. What an impact he had, didn't he?
Because you did say that yesterday, you'd have played Taylor.
I would have played Taylor. Because
this is Ferguson Haney's thinking that he can talk about football.
I was going up there and you kind of know weather-wise, you know, it maybe no suit Valley, so I would have went with Taylor all day long. I'd have probably went with either, but no, Celtic have shown that they can adapt as well, because I think, I spoke about yesterday about being physical. You're looking at me, and I know you can't get away with a lot, but
They were Aberdeen.
as physical as you can be. And they tried that. They tried to kind of upset them,
And it didn't work.
put them off their game.
And it didn't work.
But no, it's probably what I expected. So,
Celtic to win.
but then again, I spoke yesterday. I know they've had that same no 1-4, and I always
They've had hard fixtures, Dylan.
aye, but that's what I'm saying, because I'll go back to it, because I thought the fixtures were.
Oh, who cares? Had enough of that. Anyway, he's conceded the title to Celtic already. He has conceded the title to Celtic, but he says the Rangers are coming. A bit like Boydie says that the Rangers are coming. Anyway, let's jump over to the comments. I don't think we're going to listen to any else. Are we going to listen to oh no, I was going to listen to this one, wasn't I? I was going to listen to Snide FM just for the banter, because there was a question asked.
Your last 50p and gamble responsibly. I think you're putting on Celtic. I know what he's saying, it can be a dip in form, but you look at this Celtic team, the squad, the subs, everyone's coming on, everyone's playing their part. I think if you're a Rangers fan, certainly got a bit of encouragement last night at Ibrox with Kilmarnock. I thought they looked completely different.
Come on, it's Kilmarnock. You were all shouting out for fucking the Kilmarnock manager to be the next manager of Rangers, and he does what he always does. They lie, don't he? They're absolutely garbage when they go to use lot.
They looked like a team that, you know, gets all the pats in the back in Europe, the way they play in Europe. I just thought there was a different, a spring in Rangers step last night.
No,
Taylor, I thought he did make a difference when he came on, just because how inverted he was. He gave Aberdeen a problem, but it was more a collective kind of roll up your sleeves and dig in, because even Kuhn was quiet, but you could see him digging away and trying to get himself into the game in the second half. Wasn't he quite coming off for him? But I think Brendan Rodgers will be happy with that sort of team effort and that collective effort.
Anyway, right, let's get talking about the game last night. Let's get talking back about Celtic and talk about what I thought about the game last night. When you look at it, Celtic were definitely under the cost. There was at one point that the Aberdeen, I haven't even checked that is, well, we want it. I'll just do this a second. Also just on... so if you watched the game last night, you would have noticed that every time that Callum McGregor was banging the centre of the pitch, there was two Aberdeen players that were kind of closing in on each side of them, not allowing them to move from one side to the other, which was it was good tactical move by Jimmy, the Aberdeen manager. And then what you also had is the Aberdeen wingers and the Aberdeen fullbacks pushing right out to make sure that Kuhn and Dyson Maida didn't get a lot of the ball. So they knew exactly where the danger was going to come from with Celtic last night. They knew it was going to be Callum McGregor controlling things through the middle, so they tried to nullify that in the defensive way that they did, and then they also tried to nullify the wingers. Now they managed it for 70 minutes, and then when the manager turned around and said, right, boom, we need to try and go and win the game here, because ultimately that's what we're going to do. We're going to play the Aberdeen way that they played all season. I was kind of surprised that Aberdeen did change to the defensive way that they've decided to play last night. I am really surprised at the fact that they did try to play that way. It's not the way that they've played all season, and I was kind of disappointed in it, because it's it's the same way that teams play every single week. Aberdeen against us, and you know, teams never get success when they do that. And folk could say, right, well, Aberdeen will be looking at the semi-final. Aberdeen will look at the semi-final and say, we tried to play our own game. We allowed Celtic too much space. So for 70 minutes, we contained Celtic. We never allowed them to get a real hold of the game or bully us. But then once they did start to change the game, open up and try and have a go, Aberdeen, the goal was always coming in, if you ask me. It was always coming. Anyway, there is a game this weekend. Celtic do travel back home, which is all good. And then when you look at the league table, it is even better. The fact that we are sitting nice with a few games in front. 2 seconds. Now that we are into the December period, and next up is obviously Hibernian 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff. there's been bad news. A lot of the guys in Ireland will see the weather for this weekend, and there might not be any ferries to bring all the buses over from Ireland. So that's going to devastate quite a big chunk of fans. So don't be too surprised if there's big chunks of empty seats in the stadium this weekend, because if none of the buses get over, I mean, I know there must be about, I don't know how many. I know there's at least 4 for Belfast, and then you look at the other ones, there's got to be at least 8 or 9 buses that'll come over. Anyway, but it doesn't look like that there are going to be any ferries on, so we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully there is, and hopefully the fans can get to the game, because it's always devastating when you can't get to a game of football. And then up is the big one next Tuesday. I wonder why Scottish football, well, mind you, we played on Wednesday, so you're not going to really play Wednesday, but why we could have, with it being at Celtic Park, we could have had an early kick-off. We could have had an early kick-off on Saturday just to allow the players that little bit extra time to recover, considering that they're going to be flying out on Monday. So they're basically going to be playing Saturday. They'll have a rest day Sunday. They're going to go into training on Monday. There's not going to be much training. And then on Monday, the sort of the fitness training session that they will have, and then they'll be heading off to the airport. The training session will take place in Celtic Park, so it's not even a full training session on Monday. And this is what, and the Scottish football does absolutely nothing in particular. Say it again, hey, what is it good for? We played Dynamo Zagreb on the Tuesday evening at a 7:15 kick-off in mainland Europe, and a 5:45 kick-off Celtic Park time. You would think that they would try and rearrange or make it an earlier kick-off, rather than the 3 o'clock kick-off on the Saturday. Maybe Celtic wanted the 3 o'clock kick-off on the Saturday. Hopefully the players get home Saturday night, see their families all day Sunday, and then they're away for a few days. But anyway, it is what it is. And then the big one, the massive one. Yes, the Rangers think they're coming, and I think it'll be a good time to put them back in their box at Hampden. You've obviously got the cup final on the 15th of December. Then we're away to Dundee United with those terrible lose at the old end, and then we've got Motherwell at Celtic Park, and then we finish off the month to St Johnstone before we play the Zombies on the 2nd of January. And then the 5th of January, it's a busy start to the year as well. Really busy start to the year. We're not used to so much football, because January, when you look at it, January is just as busy a month. You come back on the 2nd, and usually we have a couple of weeks break, but we're going straight back into it. You've got the 2nd of January, you've got Rangers. You've got the 5th of January, you've got St Mirren at home. You've then got the 8th of January, where you've got Dundee United at home. Then you're away to Ross County. I bet that game gets called off. Ross County in January. God, that'll be a nightmare. That is a 12:30 kick-off on the Saturday. On the Saturday of the love of gods. Why? I mean, a Saturday. Anyway, it is what it is. And then we go to the 14th. So 14 days into the year, we'll have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in 14 days. So, I mean, January is not going to let up a single bit. And then you've got Kilmarnock in the Scottish Cup. And then it's back into Champions League business. It is non-stop in January next year. We've got the Young Boys at Celtic Park. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off. And then we've got Dundee at Celtic Park. And then we're away to Aston Villa on Wednesday the 29th. What an absolute monster of a month. I mean, usually we're not used to so much football in January. It's going to be absolute mayhem. There's not going to be time to breathe. But anyway, what do you think the score will be this weekend? I've not even done a poll tonight, ever. There's not a lot of people on tonight, which is unusual for it's this time of year. Everybody's watching silly TV programmes. But anyway, that is what it is. So, 10 minutes left. You've got me for another 10 minutes. I am only staying on for half an hour this evening. Let me just click on here just to see if I'm going to see what's Luke McCowan prediction. Interesting. Let me see what this one says. Stephen Naismith has tipped Luke McCowan to establish himself as a key figure in the midfield. Get a few players at the door before that happens. a lot of people talking about the disallowed goal for Celtic. Well, it wasn't a goal. Well, it was the disallowed goal, wasn't it? The keeper was allegedly pushed by Dyson Myra. There wasn't a lot in it, but it is what it is. Anyway, right, we do play Hibernian this weekend. I think Brendan Rodgers will ring the changes again. It is at Celtic Park, so you could see Brendan making 1 or 2 changes when it comes to the game this weekend. I think the way that Hibernian have been playing, let me just get the league table back up, because they've had a not bad couple of results over the last couple of weeks. It has took them off the foot of the table. They're 2 points clear of Heart of Midlothian. So you're wanting them to try and keep that going. But ultimately, because Celtic play them this weekend, you're not wanting to give them anything at all. And it's going to be Celtic 3 points, because we want to maintain our unbeaten run. Just to prove a point to Ferguson and co that the Celtic will go on an unbeaten run, because there seems to be a thing in the media that they are a little bit frightened about the fact that Celtic, there's every possibility that we could have an Invincibles 2.0. Now remember, the One Celtic Fans View is there, the Boxing Day live event thing. I'm just going to double check and see, get an update on that whilst we're talking. Yeah, it's still sitting at £736, which I'm absolutely over the moon with. I mean, with only 5 days into the month, and we've collected 70% of the first hour, which is absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So well done to everyone that has donated so far. So will Brendan Rodgers ultimately change the team about this weekend? I think he may. I think he might even bring in, he might even drop out. Will he drop out Trusty? Will he drop out Trusty, I wonder? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to take what Brendan Rodgers does and just let him go with it, because he's the manager, and let's face it, he knows best when it comes to the team. So with that being said, I am going to go for a result this weekend, even though it's only Thursday. I'm going to go for Celtic 3, Hibs now. I'm going to go for 3-0, because I think it will be able to break down Hibs a lot easier. Give me your score predictions in the comments. You've got another 5 or 6 minutes left before we hang it up for this evening. I am going for Celtic 3, Hibs 2. Give me your score predictions, your early score predictions in the comments section. Stephen Johnson straight in with a 4-0. I don't think it'll be 4. Lorna Gallagher's going for 2-0. I think it'll be a bit more than that, because Hibs will want to try and have a go against us. 5-0 the Hoops. For me, Hank says, Stephen Johnson, look after yourself. Baz, hope that has a sore throat after the 26th. Yep. Michael Sinclair's going for 4-0. Carly's going for 20-0. Carly's going for 20-0. 28th of May is going for 4-0. Jim is going for 4-0 Celtic. Jim is going for 2-0 Celtic. Martin Withers is going for 4-1. Well done to you, Martin, because I think you were the first to donate to the One Celtic Fans View, if my memory serves me right. I'll just scroll away back here. Yeah, no, it was Martin Withers. Back up there. Carly. Stuart, Baz, I hope the weather for the Hibs game isn't as mental as last night. I think it's going to be just as bad, if no worse, at the weekend, because there is this storm that's heading over. Paul McGuire's going for 6-0. Jim McClarty's going for 2-0. Patrick McGarry's going for 6-0. 5-0 there. Pish says Jim F. Hank says, Michael, you beat me into the punch. He's going for 4-0. He's going for 4-0. Spacey's going for 3-0. Something today's going for 7-0. Nah. Thomas is going for 2-0. Sineris is going for 4-0. Carly is drunk, says Jim. Michael Sinclair's going for, he's laughing at 20 as well. Somebody's just smoking Colombian stuff. And then she's going, oh well, 8-0. And Andy Mack's going for 3-0 Celtic. Jerry Cassidy's going for 4-0. Yeah, there's a wide and varied number of... let me just shut down some of these. Better shut down the one that I'm using. So it's all going to depend whether the manager will change it about. When you think we've got the Champions League game, we do have the Champions League game on the Tuesday, so I expect a lot of changes in the team. I think definitely Liam Scales will come back into the team. I think Luke McCowan will come back into the team. Paulo Bernardo will start as well. It wouldn't surprise me if Adam Eder started the game also back at Celtic Park, because we've got the Champions League game to think of. So you're wanting the players, you're wanting to give the players that are going to be playing in the Champions League game, if you can give them an extra 70 minutes of football off, some of them just give it off altogether and keep them fresh, keep them really fresh, because I think Brendan Rodgers will have one eye on that. So I think that we'll definitely have a lot of changes this weekend. Right, anyway, that's me done and dusted for tonight. Throat's killing me for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, thanks to everyone who has been on the live tonight, and thank you to everyone who has donated to the One Celtic Fans View fundraiser for the Celtic FC Foundation. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world.
Roll up to the